Hey everyone, Corvus here. Welcome to this video in which I will showcase the finished Black Coach. Really happy with the final result of this project. So in this video, I'm just going to give you some final tips on how I finished up this project, and then just basically review the miniature. Because in the previous video that I'll be linking on the screen now, and also in the video description, I talked a bit about how I tackled a project like this, how I went by partially assembling the miniatures, deciding what to assemble, what to paint first. So that's I've done already in a separate video, but this is a bit of a follow-up video on that one, talking about how I did the final assembly, and just showing you the miniature, which I'm very happy. Before we continue, I would like to mention that if you're interested in buying a this miniature or any other Games Workshop kit, there's a link in the video description to Element Games, a website which offers you 15% discount off retail prices of products like this, not only miniatures but also paints and other supplies. And please, during checkout, use the code GER959 to get a double store credit. So with that out of the way, how I finished this, basically, yeah, I just glued everything together, but it wasn't that easy. I was expecting some problems, especially with the horses, because these are some long pieces. If you don't know, if you haven't seen a previous video, these horses, they're one after the other one. They're one piece, so they're attached here on the head, and the other one more on the lower leg area. I'll turn it around, turn the miniature around after this side is shown. So yeah, that was a bit of a challenge. This central piece is one long bit, with these is also attached on the central piece. And so the horse was one part, and then the carriage was one part, and everything went together here in this, with this hinge here. And that, yeah, I knew that that was really going to be difficult, because I did a lot of dry fitting, and the hinge is not only, it's not the biggest problem, but the biggest problem, I will turn it around now. The biggest problem was basically this area. So we have these swirly bits here below the horses, and there is one of these swirly bits. Let me just get something else to point. So this piece of swirly bit, there's some swirlies here below the carriage as well, and it all comes together here. And that was really, you can still see there's some glue here, I think, or some dust. Let's just remove that first. But you can really see that yeah, there was really a force field there between voila, between the upper and the lower part. So I did some dry fitting, and this was not really not aligned at all. So, but yeah, the first phase was basically, what I did was just put the carriage on there. Oh yeah, there's one other step that I didn't mention. So I need to orient everything on the base. What I did, yeah, while I was dry fitting, I somewhat outlined where these would go. So there are two attachment points on the base. We have this here with these gravestones underneath, and then this part is the only place where the horses are stuck to the base. So I took a pencil or something and I aligned this on the base. Then I glued down the sand as much as possible, left some area of bare plastic there, because I knew I needed the bare plastic to have the strength to glue this down. Yeah, and then primed, painted the base, so there was still some area without sand left. So when I glued everything down, I just with some PVA glue attached the sand there, and painted that. And I think, yeah, it turned out great. You don't really see the part of sand that I painted previously and afterwards. So I think I did the final dry brush in one go, but painted the entire base separately, then glued everything on, filled it up with sand, painted it to match, and I think that turned out great. And it really gave me the opportunity to leave this off, leave the figure itself off the base until the very last moment. So very happy about how I did that. So then was the moment there to basically have the carriage and the horses. But first, these horses would be attached to this how you call it, this long piece of wood, or two pieces, but this is basically one piece of plastic, and also these other pieces of wood, they're attached on this one part. And there were basically some slots here on the backs of the horses, but that was also something that didn't really fit, so I had to scrape off quite some plastic with a hobby knife. First I made sure that it really went in there very well, and I also had some wiggle room, because I knew that there was going to be some problems expected, because yeah, these horses, they're attached to this piece of wood, which in turn is attached to this hinge here, but the horses, they're attached to the base and also to this swirly bit here. So I knew there was going to be some trouble there expected, so I glued down the horses, and immediately after that started working on the gluing that to the carriage. And I did all that before gluing everything down on the base. So I just put it on the table, on the desk, so it was flat. But yeah, and then there was a bit of a problem there. Just put some glue on both sides. Also here on this swirly bit, it really comes together like this. So that hinge goes together like that, but the two swirly bits, they go together on the opposite plane, on the other opposite orientation, and really made stuff very complicated. So just with a bunch of glue there, yeah, just started wiggling, and yeah, this was not good at the first time. So there was a lot of glue coming out of there. It was really destroying the paint job, so that's also something. But in the end, yeah, I fixed it in place. Just put everything down on the desk, really let it dry overnight, let the glue cure, and then the next day came back with the paint to fix all this, because yeah, there was really some glue spilling out of there, and you know how this goes when you spill some glue on something, piece of plastic that already painted. Yeah, the paint comes right off and it melts the glue, and it gets, yeah, turns into one big sticky mess, and that's exactly what happened here. The hinge on this bottom part, but in the end, yeah, everything was glued together, fixed the paint. Then I moved on to sticking this to the base, and then just basically proceeded on sticking on the other parts. And also, if you've seen the previous video, these ghosts which go on there, they're attached to this carriage with this small piece of wood, and I think I did quite a good job of color matching, because this part was painted after this one, so the color matching is pretty good. You can still see a small gap here. I could have fixed that afterwards also if I wanted to, but yeah, that was pretty okay to attach. So that's one of these ghosts. The other one is just went in here with basically a slot in the top of this carriage. There was some kind of pin here. On the top one was easy to do, and the other one here, again, a piece of wood, and this time you barely see it. There's a piece of wood here that goes here along the side, which was attached to the ghost, and now goes on there. Also, attaching the rider was quite easy, pretty straightforward. So yeah, in the end, very happy with this result. The overall colors, they really match my my Nighthaunts army. So just to show you, this is one of the first Nighthaunts miniatures I painted. So I think the color matching is pretty good on this one. I think there's about 2 years between, I don't know when the Soul War set came out, but there's about 2 years of time between these, so color matching is pretty good. Also the bases are consistent, so very happy to have this in my display cabinet finally with the rest of the army. So that's what I basically wanted to show you on this video. A while ago I did some pictures on this miniature, but I still have to post them on my website at the time of filming. So if they are on my website, I'll put a link in this video description as well, or on the screen if that's possible. I'm not sure with a website link, but I'll give that a try. But anyway, I think you've got a good picture of this. If you're wondering how long this took me, it took me well over 40 hours. So I think somewhere 43 hours to do the assembly and the painting. And that's only what I consider just a good gaming quality paint job on this one. Just wanted to have this one finished and put in my display cabinet with the rest of the army. So not really very high level of painting, but I think a miniature like this, you can view it from quite a distance. It looks impressive, even with a basic paint job like this one. So that's all for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please press the like button if you like the content of this video. Really helps out the channel. Please consider becoming a subscriber if you haven't done so already. I try to put out new videos once a week. Now I'm on schedule every Wednesday. I put out a video, so there will be showcased videos like this one, but also some tip videos and desktop updates, various kind of videos. So if you're interested in that, then please consider becoming a subscriber. Also, please remember to visit the links in the video description to buy Games Workshop miniatures at a discount. Remember to use the code GER959 at checkout. That's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Bye.